Hi, and welcome to Never Seen It. This is a podcast about movies we haven't seen. I'm one of your hosts, Betsy, and with me is my husband and my co-host, Trent.
Hey, Betsy.
Hi, Trent. So the Nic Cage-athon rolls right along.
Rages on.
Rages on. I wish I'd thought of that a second ago. That's a nice rhyme, Trent. That's why I have
That's
you
why
here.
I'm here.
You are here participating.
I'm the rhyming guy. I'm not.
No, you're not. Anyway, we are on episode 4. We have entered the 2010s. And if you aren't following us on social media, I posted about this today. This man made 40 things.
40
between 2010 and 2019. So there was a lot for us to choose from.
Yeah, and this era of Nic Cage is the downward spiral.
It's all over the place because
Yeah.
there's some good stuff and there's some really bad stuff. I also think there's probably some underrated gems that we have not yet explored. And as far as we know, that is what today is. We are watching 2018's Mandy.
Mandy, Betsy, we chose this one simply through the grapevine of hearing that this movie is incredible.
I've heard this movie's crazy.
That too. And, you know, as Nic Cage goes, sometimes the crazy Nic Cage is the best. And
sometimes you get the bees. Not the bees!
Not bees! No, we've never seen The Wicker Man. Maybe we'll do that on another Nic Cage-athon later in our tenure. But, yes, Mandy, Betsy, I don't really know much about this movie. Other than, like you said, it's crazy. And I think there's, like, cult stuff about it. I know it's very violent and very dark.
Okay.
But
because neither of us have watched this, guys.
No, I don't even think I've seen a trailer for it.
Or if we did, it was literally in 2018. We didn't rewatch one to prep for this.
Maybe. So, like, all I know about this movie is what I've heard from other people, and they went out of their way to not spoil things, because apparently the movie can be spoiled.
Because a lot of people you follow is where you're kind of
Yes.
getting your source. People you respect their opinions and
Yeah.
appreciate their insight onto such things.
Such a person as a guy named Alex Navarro.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't heard the name, Alex Navarro is a guy who has been in the video game industry forever. He covers games.
20
but
years or something.
as his side thing, he is a massive, massive fan of Nicolas Cage.
He's seen everything he's done.
In fact, he actually went viral a few years ago. He found some fucking movie from the 80s where Nic Cage just shows up out of nowhere. He's not credited. He just shows up. He's a guy. Yes, he's a guy in a car who meets this main character of this movie, says some things, and fucks off.
What the hell is this movie?
I don't remember what it was.
He's not even credited. He's just there.
not credited. He shows up. I think it's a movie in the 80s or 90s.
It would make sense it's probably the 80s if it was before he was famous.
Yeah.
But it would be even weirder if it was in the 90s
Yeah.
because then that constitutes a cameo. And how do people not know about that?
Exactly. So he shows up in this movie, and Alex was like the first person to really make it known. I'm sure people knew about it.
In the viral age, anyway.
Exactly. So he posted something about it. It blew up, and he started like getting interviewed by different websites.
Entertainment news.
Yes. So yes, Nic Cage is a guy who he has followed for decades and decades. He's written articles about like his top 10 Nic Cage movies and why, and yeah, he's just a fan.
He's a super fan.
He is very much a super fan of Nic Cage, good and bad.
Now, how does he feel about this movie, Mandy? Because, of course, the reason you're talking about him is this is where you first heard about this movie.
I first heard about this movie from Alex Navarro, and he loves this movie. It is in his top 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to choose from.
Of all the movies that he's seen, he has chosen this as one of his top 10.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't have any real reference point for this movie. I want to say there's someone named Mandy.
I'm going to say that that's Nic Cage's character.
Okay, sure. Or someone he loves. We're going to go ahead and shoot in the dark here. I think this is like a revenge movie where he just goes apeshit, because isn't he like covered in blood on the poster of this movie?
Sure. I know the visage of Nic Cage with his face covered in blood is what they advertised about this movie.
But I don't know anyone else who's in this.
I looked at the cast list for this. I know nobody.
There's probably statistically some B, C, D list character actor I've seen in one thing one time 20 years ago.
Maybe.
But this is that thing that happens with Nicolas Cage sometimes where he is the title. He is the name. Right. He is the guy they're building this movie around, where the majority of the budget is going to him because it's a project that sparked his interest. Mm-hmm. And nobody else in the movie matters because they didn't have the budget for anybody else. This is not a mainstream Hollywood movie.
No. And what I'm really curious about is the movie good because of Nic Cage, or is Nic Cage really good in this movie?
Or is it just so insane that you're like, I don't know what this movie is, but I loved it?
Sure. I'm fully prepared here to just take this movie in, digest it. Maybe we might even take a little bit extra time between the intro and when we sit down here again to react to it.
Ensue.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, we will. So let's go do it. We're going to watch Mandy from 2018, and we will be right back. And we're back. All right, Trent. That was Mandy. How you feeling?
I think the drugs just kicked in about an hour ago. Fuck. Oh my God, was that a trip?
Good trip, bad trip, or you're still deciding?
That was incredible.
Okay.
That was great.
So, for me, this is one of those... Like, you know how some movies are not for everyone? Okay, first of all, certainly this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Oh, sure.
By a long shot. I think a lot of people probably made it 15 minutes into this movie and turned it the fuck off because it is a hard movie to get through. Because it is so fucked up and trippy that it's just like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it. I'm still processing.
And like I said in the intro, we did take a little bit of extra time to process what we just watched, and here we are.
I mean, it's a lot. I have some very strange notes that I took, just like little words and phrases that if I made a list for you to describe this movie, you'd be like, what the fuck kind of a movie is this? That's what kind of fucking movie this is.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just a lot to unpack here. It is about a guy and his wife in 1983.
Yep.
They live in a house up in the mountains by themselves in their own little world. And then one day a cult leader sees her on the side of the road and decides that he needs to have her. Mm-hmm. Because he had a fucking vision or some shit. I don't know. They're all high as balls. And then they kill her, and he gets revenge. But it's not as simple as that.
When you really boil it down, that's exactly what happens. This is a revenge movie, a cult movie, and it's very violent.
It is very violent. Some of the things don't make any sense. Like, the plot moves along because it has to, not because it makes any fucking sense.
No, they don't explain
who
these people are, where they come from, why they're doing this.
There are massive plot gaps and such hard left turns that you're just like, okay.
But you know what? I'm here for the presentation of it all. I don't give a fuck about the plot. It's not that kind of a movie.
I get that, and I understand it, and I was trying my best to let that go, and there were moments I was enjoying myself, but then there are other moments where I physically had trouble watching the movie because it's so much of like weird colors and it's very dark and like sensory overload. Like there's strobe lights and purple and green and red, and
it's overloading to the senses.
It's so hard for me to look at for extended periods. Like it's okay in little short bursts, but they had 5-minute scenes.
Yeah, these scenes were super long. And it's not like it was like bad. Like we just talked about, comedic scenes going on too long. But this is for dramatic effect. And I think it was effective.
Right. Maybe don't take drugs and watch this movie, though.
Or maybe do take drugs and watch this movie.
I think this would be such a bad trip because it's so dark.
I don't know. I've never been high on anything before.
Of evil, and the music is really intense.
Oh, God.
It's like a composer's version of heavy metal music.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Like the whole movie has this heavy metal vibe around the entire thing. It's down to the fucking font work on the title cards.
It's that thing we talked about. What was the movie we watched recently where everybody's name had like... in Thor Love and Thunder, where their credits were all like the fonts of famous records.
Yeah.
It was the same thing here, but it was like heavy metal fonts.
Yes.
So like the opening sequence is this blood red, what I called vampire font.
Yeah.
Over like moving trees, and I was like already in the opening shots like, oh God, I'm gonna get dizzy watching this movie.
Yeah.
But yes, you said it opened with a poem. I have to pull this up because it's a thing.
It's a thing.
So the opening shot says, "When I die, bury me deep. Lay 2 speakers at my feet. Wrap some headphones around my head and rock and roll me when I'm dead."
Yeah, the filmmakers here really like old heavy metal music.
Well, and it's set in 1983 with the explicit purpose of it makes sense why she would be wearing a Motley Crue t-shirt and a Black Sabbath t-shirt.
Yeah.
There is no heavy metal. There's no licensed music in this at all.
Not at all, but it evokes that kind of a thing. Like the kind of music that I like isn't necessarily all heavy metal stuff, but a lot of it is inspired by it because I didn't really get into like the 70s and the 80s types of like hair metal and like heavy metal and all that other stuff. But I appreciate that stuff from afar, but I love the aesthetic.
And it's weird because they didn't give you much to get who she is as a character, but you get enough to be like, okay, I'm getting a version of a person in my head because she is an artist. She has long black hair. She lives in the woods. She gets very emotional over nature. Like she's reading this weird novel about like a wizard reaching in and like grabbing a snake eye.
Yeah,
I don't
it's like
know.
Dark, heavy shit.
Yeah, like what is the word? I guess
it's like a dark fantasy kind of thing.
Fantasy, thank you. Yeah, she's reading fantasy novels and she's wearing heavy metal shirts.
Yeah,
and you actually, frankly, get the most about her without getting the full story because this is actually an actress I recognized. But I didn't recognize her in the movie. It wasn't until I looked her up because I was like, who is this woman? She plays opposite Tom Cruise in Oblivion, which is probably the thing you and I would know her from.
Yeah, and we've only seen that movie once.
And there's some other credits that I had seen her in, but that was the one that we'd probably know her from.
Sure.
But she is unrecognizable because she has this long black hair. She has dark contacts, like one of her eyes, the pupil is super dilated.
There's a lot of like black eyes.
Black eyes. She's got a scar down her face that we don't know what that is.
No.
We don't explain it. And it's weird because she's really intense looking, but she's beautiful at the same time. And I'm like, am I supposed to be attracted or scared of you?
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to understand why Red, Nicolas Cage's character, the lumberjack / blacksmith / murder
all
revenge
around
dude.
great guy.
Yeah, and they only give you one scene at the end of the movie where they meet, and there's no dialogue.
Sure, we get like a memory scene of them meeting for the first time, and they're looking at each other, staring daggers at each other, but it's all kind of colored by all of this LSD drug trip.
Yeah,
so
the whole movie, there's so much of that.
The entire thing is completely fueled by LSD. It is tainted LSD. Right. So we get this story about there's this chemist out there that is making this weird LSD.
Again, it's just like the throwaway line.
It's kind of just thrown away. We get introduced to the guy. We don't talk to him, but he's having a conversation with Red.
I wrote down psychic chemist.
Yes.
Because Red is staring him down for information and doesn't say a word.
But you know what? You can just look at him, look to see how he's made up with all the blood on his fucking face, and you know, if he's coming in here looking like that and he's coming to see me, you know why he's there.
Yeah, and he's
because he's
like,
so fucked up.
They done you dirty.
Yeah, because he's so fucked up in the head, like having all of his own, he's drunk on his own supply, as it were. He's having this conversation with him, and he's not speaking a word. So
yeah, I wanted to ask that question. I was trying to find it, but Nicolas Cage barely speaks in this movie.
Yeah,
there are actually long parts of the movie he's not in. So it starts with him in the woods. He goes home to his wife,
right,
and then it's like 25 minutes of just Mandy, and he's not there.
Yeah, and like that portion of the movie didn't really even make sense. It doesn't even have to be there. It's establishing that he's a lumberjack who gets dropped in the middle of the work area.
The woods.
Yeah.
Up in the mountains.
He gets picked up by helicopter and then brought home.
And he gets home late at night.
Because there's no road to go where he's felling trees.
Yep. And they're in the middle of nowhere. They live in the dark, in the woods,
They
by
live
themselves.
in a cabin by themselves. Which, by the way, I want to talk about this fucking cabin. This cabin is awesome.
It's all windows.
It's all windows, and like their bedroom area is all big glass. So they're bathing in the moonlight every night. And that's so cool.
I do have to say, there is a thread of impractical housing in this movie because it's all windows. How could you possibly temper that house? It would be very awful in the summertime. And then there's
also
another...
be very cold in the wintertime.
And then there's another house where, like, in the basement, there's a sub-basement, and there's just, like, a hole where he kicks somebody down a hole.
Where did that hole come from?
I don't know. And then there's a church at the end of the movie where there's like a sub basement with tunnels, and it's just like, what is this place?
Like, I kept thinking, Betsy, it's kind of like a video game where you got these bosses that you're going after. You're going to kill all these bosses. You have you have different weapons that you have to dispatch your enemies, and you have these different settings that you get into, and the final boss is at the end of a corridor in a fucking basement.
Yeah. And then you have to crush his head in with your bare hands.
Indeed. While
you are also tripping balls.
Yeah.
There's just such dramatic turns because they literally, this cultist sees his wife on the side of the road, decides that she's mine, I need her. They go to the house, but before they go, they call in reinforcements, and there's these... I'm still not sure. Were there 3 or 4? Because it was so dark and you never got a good look at them.
You didn't. And I think that's kind of the point. Where you just didn't get a really good look. You didn't see any of their faces. Maybe their mouths, but that's about it.
But they have these 4 people in leather, and I had a few names for them. I believe I called them claw hands or knife hands, something like that.
Yep.
Knife dick.
Yep.
Nail face, and the goo gimp.
All right.
That is what I dubbed them. The goo gimp was the one that I was like...
Goo gimp is the best one out of those. Thank you.
He's squishy and wearing leather.
And I kept on saying, why is he squishy? Why is this happening? Why is he dripping?
And we get like they're like a motorcycle gang, but they were doing bad things, and the chemist drugged them with a batch of LSD, but it melted their faces, and now they love being in pain.
I have no idea.
And
I
so
didn't get any of that.
They're the muscle. Like, it's very throwaway dialogue.
Yeah, there's nothing explained as to why these people exist, but they exist, and that's his obstacle.
Yep. And they show up with the cultists in their house and have a strobe light kidnapping.
That looks so cool, though.
But again, it was really hard to look at. Like, I was starting to have a bad reaction, and I don't have reactions to strobe lights.
Sure.
Like, guys, seizure warnings, please. Like, don't watch this movie.
Very much so.
If you are susceptible, because this
again,
scene in particular.
It is a choice. Like, whether you could get through it or not, but it is a stylistic choice.
The director had a vision, and he was consistent. I will give him that.
Yes. And I think it was, again, very, very effective.
It was a visceral movie beginning to end.
Yes.
Yes. I am not arguing that point whatsoever.
All right. But yeah, the scene where they get kidnapped, they're coming in their garb and just looking all freaky with the cult members in the back and the motorcycle dudes, like, getting on top of her and silencing her, and, like, I don't know what they did with, I guess they, like, do they, like, chloroform him or something?
They
like,
hit him in the face. They just knocked him out.
Did they just knock him out? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. But they wake up looking at each other, and they're still conscious, but then he gets hit, and she gets taken. But then I didn't really realize until after the fact that they just hung out there.
Yeah, they didn't actually take them away.
I thought they took her away.
It wasn't so much a kidnapping as we bust into your house and we're going to use this time in your home to get you on our side.
And when we don't even know, they tie up Red outside
with barbed wire.
With barbed fucking wire on his arms, on his mouth. I've never seen anything like that before in a movie depicted.
They really went for it.
Wow. So they got her in there. The couple of cult members that are sitting at the table with her, they get her to be compliant. They're basically explaining to her, eventually you will be compliant.
Be a good girl.
Be a good girl. She slaps her across the face, the old lady does, and opens her eye. And I'm not good with eye stuff.
In general,
in real life and in fake life, I don't do eye stuff.
And this really wasn't even that bad. She puts an eyedropper in her eye.
I don't care, and that's bad enough for me.
This is the thing that disturbed you the most in this movie, was a woman putting a drop of something in her eye.
Yes. I don't like that. Anyway, she puts some drug water she puts some drug water into her eyes, and then the weirdest thing about this movie.
Oh, is this the weirdest thing?
The most unexplained thing for sure.
It's very strange and, again, out of left field. There's so many moments just out of left field.
They take tongs and grab a big-ass bug.
Like a super wasp.
I don't know.
But it's not a bug that really exists.
No, it's like a huge, huge thing that has a stinger on the end.
Yeah.
And they put the bug on her neck and it stings her. And then she starts tripping balls.
Yep. Which I assume that's what was the eyedropper was for.
Right, that's the LSD.
But then they give her a bug sting to just really push her over.
Maybe that like paralyzes her or something so that she can't get out of there.
I don't know, but then
or react to what's happening to her.
Then she had two big black freaky eyes like everybody else in that room.
Yeah.
And it all goes downhill quickly.
So yeah, everybody's just kind of hanging out, having their drug trip in the thing. And we get Jeremiah. We've been introduced to Jeremiah already, but this is his big thing.
He's the guy who can talk to God or whatever.
Yeah, he's the cult leader. He's been chosen by God. He's the prophet of this cult. And he's been told that everybody else is wrong. You know, all those people who follow Jesus, they're all wrong. It's you.
I am the guy. Everyone follow me.
Yeah.
And he's like having weird meltdowns at parts of the movie where he's just like, don't ever doubt yourself. Like talking to himself in the mirror. Right. But he's also...
There's like 3 different moments where he's just a dude.
But he's also a musician that has composed an album all about himself.
That he brought with him to this kidnapping.
Yeah, and there's some weird dialogue that's also kind of funny, but they're just so sporadic that it's weird to laugh. Where he says, "Do you like the Carpenters?
Right.
I think they're sensational, but I think this is better." And he puts on his own album.
Right.
And he's wearing like a weird foam robe, which he
Betsy-
had to bring with him. Trent,
That's-
understand,
yes,
this
yes.
is not his house. He brought that. He traveled with that.
Betsy, that robe looked like, I said this while we were watching it, it looks like what the Mortal Kombat ninjas wear with the shoulder pads. It's
Yep.
what they look like in the video
The
game.
V, the
Yeah.
triangle.
Yeah. The shoulder pads going way out. Yeah, the triangle going down.
And it all goes downhill from there very quickly because, of course, she doesn't succumb to his charms and laughs at
He's
him.
basically saying, I'm the shit. Just look at me. I'm going to disrobe, take this ninja garb off.
Show you my dick.
Show you my dick and balls, and you should just be worshiping me. Should be on your knees worshiping me. Do you get what I'm saying? And she laps in his face.
Loudly.
And
Excessively.
a lot. And he can't take it. He says, shut the fuck up.
First, he angrily jerks off.
Yes.
Which I can't say
I
I've too often seen
okay.
someone jerking off angrily before.
I don't know what this guy's kink is, but I don't think I would get anything out of someone pointing and laughing at me.
I don't think it's so much that as a control thing, like he's trying to regain
I get
his
that.
self-control.
I get that. But the way it's depicted here is, weird.
Again,
Weird.
He's giving this whole speech about himself and how he's chosen by God, and then he's staring her down, and their faces are blending together. Like, it's this weird composite shot where it's her face and his face.
And he's not blinking.
He does not blink that whole scene.
And I imagine it's the reason why we don't see it is because they're compositing her eyes on top of his.
Probably.
So she's not blinking and he's not blinking. Or maybe
he's just really good at not blinking.
Maybe he just didn't blink. Who knows?
Listen, actors train themselves not to
Yes,
blink. This
yes.
is a thing in movies because it is easier to edit around if you are not constantly blinking.
It's true. It also keeps the attention.
So, listeners, sometime watch a movie, any movie, and pay attention to this. How many times do you see people blink?
Go watch your favorite movie and you don't have to pay attention to what's happening. You already know what's happening. Just look at the actor's eyes.
Yeah. I'm not saying they don't blink ever,
Mm-hmm.
but in really intense scenes in particular, they will keep them fuckers open.
It's also a concentration thing for a lot of actors,
Yeah, you go into another space, you'd be amazed how easy it is to keep your eyes open. Like, how many times have you found yourself zoning out and you're just staring? You're not blinking while that's happening.
Right.
You're just staring. Anyway, we got on a tangent. But yeah, so it all goes downhill very quickly.
Yeah, and he's like yelling at all of his other parishioners, let's say, his children.
Yeah, the children of something or other.
The Children of the New Dawn.
Oh, yeah,
which is
that.
a completely generic kind of a thing.
It's a stupid name from a stupid man who wrote a stupid song.
So, well, he apparently, when he was playing the song, I Shazammed it, and apparently there's an entire album.
Yes, they put this out right before the movie, and it actually kind of was successful.
Yeah. So he's berating all of the other people in the room, saying, shut the fuck up, don't look at me, don't look at me.
Don't laugh at me, don't look at me. And none of them are even reacting because they're all so high they don't even care.
No, he's just all paranoid on his own supply, and it's just a weird scene.
Yep, and then we find out that Nicolas Cage has been barbed wired outside, and they keep having these like weird weapons and mystical things throughout.
Right.
Like he has, what is it? The horn of Abraxas.
Right, which is just an ocarina.
It's just an ocarina.
And he uses it to call the bikers. And the reason why they're calling the bikers is because the bikers have to be the muscle to kidnap Mandy.
And then when they go out to confront Nicolas Cage's character Red, they have the tainted blade of the Pale Knight straight from the Abyssal Lair.
Which apparently is a Dungeons and Dragons thing.
Is it really?
I don't know anything about D&D, but I read it in the IMDb trivia. That's what that's from.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. There's a lot of that crap. Like, later in the movie, he forges an axe, and it looks like some fucking heavy metal
Jesus
shit.
Christ, that axe looked like it came directly out of Skyrim.
But even this knife, like, when they show these things, they have a shot, and
Yeah.
it's glowing green. Like, these weird lights are coming off of it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that in this movie. So it's a lot. It's a lot to digest.
It's all style, though.
It's
all style. And whatever substance that is here, I'm here for.
There's minimal substance, but
Yes.
a ton of style.
Yes. And back to what we were, like, they were calling the bikers because what they want to do is use the bikers to kidnap Mandy, but one of the bikers says it's blood for blood. You need to give us someone. And guess what? They use one of their other cult members as payment.
Yep. They just say, here, you can have that
The
one.
blonde fat kid.
We don't like that guy anyway.
Yeah. All he does is sit back and watch TV anyway. He's not going out and getting new members.
Nope. And this group is not growing. Frankly, it's shrinking if you're going to keep sacrificing people to seal the deal.
Right. The LSD doesn't work on everybody, I guess.
Yeah. But it's a hard shift at this point because now that Mandy has laughed at him,
Yeah.
she has to die. And they all come outside and first they stab him in the side.
Right.
And then they bring out what looks like a body bag. At which point I'm like, oh, they killed her. I think. What? And they light her on fire.
Yeah, they rig her up on this mechanism that they apparently built. Because I don't know if that was out there before. What else would you need that for?
I don't know. He has a forge in his basement, Trent. It doesn't make any sense.
Where did the forge come from? For God's sakes.
But yeah, they string her up and they light this bag on fire and it's moving. So they burned her alive.
Yep.
And he watches.
Yep.
And that's his motivation for the rest of the movie. And it's just a series of horrible, horrible murders.
Yeah, and like before he even like gets out to go get his revenge on, he decides to go back into the house and I guess find. Did they take the shirt that she was wearing off and then he picked that up and then started wearing that later?
Yes.
Because she was wearing his favorite number 44 shirt earlier in the movie to sleep in bed with, and later on he's wearing it.
Right. They show it at some point. They removed it. He picks it up off the floor.
I think he picks it off the floor when he walks back into the house. And for some reason, the TV's still on, and there is just an advertisement. Betsy, can you please explain to me what the advertisement was about?
Well, Trent, it's for a product of macaroni and cheese called Cheddar Goblin.
Yeah.
And the commercial features a goblin who pukes macaroni and cheese on children.
That was weird, but kind of awesome.
Well, afterwards, I saw in the trivia that this was directed by the same man who did the Adult Swim short, Too Many Cooks.
Too Many Cooks.
It is 20-some minutes of made-up TV theme opening credits.
And that's more than what we should give you. If you've never seen Too Many Cooks, pause this episode, go to YouTube, and just type in Too Many Cooks.
It's got lots of views. You'll find it.
You will thank us.
Or you'll scold us later. Curse our names.
If you're listening to this podcast, you will thank us. Anyway, yeah, made by the same director as Too Many Cooks.
And just thrown in there for reasons.
Yeah.
The Cheddar Goblin.
Maybe, I don't know why. Again, there's no answers to the question, why, in any of this stuff.
The answer is why not, Trent?
I guess. But yeah, from there, he watches the commercial. He goes into the exquisite bathroom.
1970s style, baby. You have to remember this was 1983.
Yeah.
The bathroom actually contextually makes sense.
It does, but not to the rest of the house. The rest of the house looks cool. It's windows everywhere. It's like wood.
It's a cabin.
It's a cabin looking kind of a thing, but with extra windows for extra light. but the bathroom is not that way.
This looks like your grandma's bathroom if she didn't decorate in 50 years.
Fucking floor to ceiling wallpaper, red
orange,
wallpaper,
and
orange,
brown.
Carpeted floor with the toilet seat covered in the fabric thing that you sit on when you're doing your business.
Yeah, it's very
Wow.
70s. It's very 70s. And
Wow.
also, there's a cabinet where they keep their booze. They keep the booze in the bathroom.
I mean, maybe that was hidden there.
I mean, it kind of felt hidden in there, but, I mean, it wasn't hidden from him. He knew where it was.
Well, regardless of if it was hidden or if that's just where they store it, it doesn't matter. He picks it up, he starts drinking it a little bit, he starts putting it on his wounds, and he starts wailing.
Yeah,
Because-
this is the most Nicolas Cage, like, screaming.
Yeah, and you know, I commented while we were watching this was going to be a much better scene if the camera had just been stationary. If they just kept it in where it was when he walked in the door and not like kind of can't come closer to him in the room and
It
started moving, and I don't think you needed to do that.
It bothered you.
It bothered me. It took me out of it because Nic Cage just being there wailing and screaming and doing whatever is good enough. Just let him be on the screen. You don't need to.
The man has an Oscar.
You don't need to zoom into that in order for me to get what it is. Just let the man do his work.
I guess.
That's about the only like directorial choice that I'm questioning here, because everything else is for a purpose, and I just did not get that.
All the rest of the chaos is necessary.
It is. And I know all like the really blurred scenes, like back in the house when when he's just talking, like that was all kind of like blurry and like almost like 1980s like home movie
Like
looking
Are
quality.
you talking about when they're talking in bed?
No, when Jeremiah is talking with Mandy.
Oh, it's
Everything's
like
kind of
purple.
blurry and like it the color is separated and it all kind of looks bad,
Like a
but
crummy film
purposefully.
negative.
Well, it's like
didn't develop
It's like it's
properly.
from an old home movie.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. But there's that scene at the beginning, too, where they're talking in bed, Mandy and Red.
Yep.
And it's like they're projecting drawings, but only onto her.
Yeah.
And it's like trippy and weird, and
looked cool.
She's surrounded by magic and light, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like, of course, it's establishing, you know, what you were talking about planets, and like she likes Jupiter because blah blah blah, and he likes Saturn because of blah blah blah.
She's been reading a book about the planets.
Right. And what I expected him to say is, you know what? No, I actually like this planet because you're the one who's on it.
It's not that kind of movie, Trent.
It's true.
It's really, really not that kind of movie. Because he wakes up in the morning and then he goes and reclaims his crossbow, which apparently used to be his weapon of choice by a survivalist in a just a cabin
camper?
or camper.
I don't know what this guy's deal is.
I called him crossbow survivalist in my notes.
Yeah. But like that's Red's crossbow.
It is. It is, but he is...
So these guys have history, but we don't get to know what that history is.
We don't know who this man is, or why they know each other, or how long they've known each other, or why he has Red's crossbow.
Why he has the
Why does
crossbow.
Red have a crossbow at all?
Right.
I'm going hunting. For
Right.
what? Jesus freaks. I didn't know they were in season.
That's a great line. That's a great line, though.
And then he gives him the whole backstory about the biker gang. Like, he
Right.
just knows, yeah, I saw him once.
Right.
How do you, he's not Southern. I don't know why I'm giving him an accent. But yeah, he just knows things. He's Mr. Exposition. That's who he is.
It is. It's true. So he gets his crossbow back, and then all of a sudden he's transported into a forge.
Which presumably is at his house, question mark?
Or like
don't really know.
where he works, but he has to be helicoptered into where he works. So
But he's also a blacksmith now.
sure. And he knows like how to expertly craft this silver. I think it's silver.
It looks like a solid silver heavy metal something out of a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Axe.
It's an axe with
It's
a
like the
knife on
video
the
game
end.
heavy metal. It's that.
And again, this is just completely inexplicable. But you know what? The axe looks cool, and we have ourselves a new folk hero.
And you just sort of roll with it. And he's trolling around looking for these guys who he finds right away. How?
Right, but
Doesn't
you
matter.
know, before we even get there, Betsy, one of the best late title cards of all time.
Oh, yes. There's kind of 3 chapters to this movie.
Right.
And there's a title card for each one. So the first one is like the Crystal Mountain. And then it's the
Shadow
children.
Mountains 1983.
Yep.
It's like a stylized kind of title card of every chapter.
And then the third one is the title card, and it's Mandy.
It's Mandy. And it's, again, this heavy fucking metal Mandy's name, but it's like blood vessels all coming off of it.
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool. Oh, God.
Music cue.
We're just going to keep grunting through the rest of the podcast, guys. Fuck. Yeah, and like, he's just out there hunting as they're biking along the road, and he's like tracking them with his crossbow, and he finally gets one of them. It's Nail Face Guy, as you say.
Nail Face.
He nails him. Unintentional pun, but I'll take it. But he nails him. He falls off the bike. He gets back up, and Red is just turning around his truck and just gonna plow right into him, and it puts him off the side of the road.
He rolls the truck.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up in the basement of some inexplicable house with Goo Gimp.
Right, and speaking of waking up, when he sleeps, again, inexplicably, we have like these hardcore cartoon sections.
Naked Mandy cartoon demon dreams.
Right, it's like, oh God, I can't even really describe what these look like.
It's not anime.
No, not at all. It's
not cutesy.
Like, I think about, oh man, remember Beavis and Butthead? But not the TV show, the movie, but it's like this fucked up heavy metal kind, like, I've seen this style of animation before.
Yes.
And it's all in like heavy metal music videos.
Yeah, that's the theme here.
That's the theme of this entire thing. But it's when he dreams, when he's knocked out.
Yeah, he said earlier in the movie that he's having nightmares, but he doesn't remember them.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie, when he's dreaming, these are his dreams.
Sure.
Just cartoons.
Sure. Why not? You're not going to explain it. I don't expect an explanation. It looks cool, and that's
we're
his
going
dreams.
with it.
And then he wakes up and we move on.
Yep. With
That's
a nail
it.
in his hand.
With a nail.
Ah.
Yeah, he is handcuffed to a pipe, and his other hand is nailed to the floor.
But this is where I'm coming back to the illogical housing, because there's just a pit there that we didn't see until he kicked this person into it.
And we didn't, exactly. We did not see that there was a pit there until he kicks him over. What?
And then they apparently survive because they show up later, but it seems like
Goo Gimp apparently climbs out of the hole and comes after him again.
Somehow or another. But he was in the basement, so they show him going up the stairs. It's like, wait, so this is a basement with a sub-basement with a pit?
Yeah.
And there's a dude upstairs who's got a knife dick, who's watching
1980s porn.
And and they have a confrontation, and he slices his throat with a rusty box cutter. And he gets blood all over his face.
Everywhere.
This is where the Nic Cage crazy turns on.
Oh boy.
Is in this scene.
Oh boy.
Because he's laughing while this dude's throat is bleeding all over his face. And then he gets up and he finishes off the other guy who's in the house because he shows back up.
Goo Gimp comes back, and this whole thing went so fast, I kind of want to go and watch it again. Like the sequence of events of him doing this and this and that.
Yeah.
But he eventually breaks his damn neck, turns back to the camera, and smiles.
But at first he's like yelling at him about, you ruined my t-shirt.
Right.
It's just weird. They insert these lines of dialogue. Like, it's not as funny as it should be. Like, this movie could be so funny if they wanted it to be.
They could have made this into an Army of Darkness kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
Where it's just camp. But no, they didn't go there.
It's not full camp. It's not full comedy. It's not full body horror.
Yeah.
It's just all of these things.
It's everything.
In a fever dream.
It's everything.
And he finds in this house all his weapons. He collects them all.
Yep.
And there's drugs. The big, knife dick, he was doing cocaine, like copious amounts of cocaine.
There's a pile of cocaine on that piece of glass.
So he just snorts some. We don't know why his character chooses to do this, but he does.
Sure.
And then he finds this gray goo in a jar.
Which is, I believe, same goo.
We had seen these guys drinking it before, so
Right.
we're assuming that's what it is.
Yeah.
So he just takes a little taste of their special energy drink. And starts tripping balls and like has a vision of his face melting. And again, it's like heavy metal music video shit.
Yeah.
And then he like jumps 40 feet off of the edge of a house. And then I was confused again about where the hell this house is.
Yeah.
Because he jumps and there's a long pause before you hit the thought.
Maybe that's just an editing problem. I don't know.
And then the last guy, Knife Hands or whatever I called him, he's like hanging out by a burning
car for, again, no reason. But Nic Cage approaches him with his crossbow, shoots him in the neck, and he just pulls it right out.
Yeah, he does do that.
And he taunts him.
Then they have an axe
They have an axe fight, and Knife Hands is like telling him she still burns.
Yeah.
Or some shit. Why do all these guys sound like monsters?
They
like
give him
monster
a weird,
bikers.
Yeah, a weird, echoey, like growly voice.
Yeah.
Because
which I get it.
reasons.
It's a good aesthetic for these kinds of enemies.
You don't get to be Bane. We already did that. This is a different movie.
Yeah, so he defeats him.
He decapitates him.
And then, oh God, Betsy, I was just yelling at the screen. He finds a cigarette. It's like, oh, you gotta light it on the head. And he does.
Yep. So he decapitates him. His body falls through the flames. And he lights the cigarette on his flaming head.
Oh, fuck yes.
Ay.
Again, I think I go back to what you said before. This is my kind of movie, but it's not a movie I ever seek out. Like, I fucking loved when RoboCop did shit like this, where it's like the cool, tough guy, like action 80s movie kind of thing to do in a movie, and they do it.
They're committed to the shtick.
Yeah, and I guess from here, he just comes upon this shed where the chemist is. Just out of nowhere? Where did he find this thing?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter.
Nothing
matters in this movie.
And we already talked about the chemist scene, so he tells him north.
That's all he says. The children, they're north.
North.
And he finds the children. He finds the cult.
Yeah.
Because of course he does.
Yeah.
He needs to.
He kind of scopes it out as they're leaving. He, again, I don't know where he finds these tacks to put in the road to blow out their tires, but
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
I missed that completely. I guess I was too distracted by the rest of the movie.
Oh no, they have it perfectly framed on the screen. There are tacks where the tires are going to hit.
He got them at the drug house because I saw him fucking around with some metal things from the sink. That's probably what those were.
I didn't even see
I just
that.
didn't see him put them in the road.
We didn't see him put them there, but they're in the shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, he blows out their tires. The old dude comes out and is just arrogant as ever.
And he stabs him in the mouth. Because his axe is not just an axe, but it also has like a bayonet on the bottom instead of a handle.
It's a knife.
That got real gruesome real quick.
It's like, I'm not asking you to talk. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to find him on my own. I don't need your help. But he lets the girl live.
Because she sheds a single tear, I guess?
I guess. I don't know.
Reasons.
Maybe, like, he was watching. Everybody was there. Everybody was watching Mandy burn. So the other ones were, like, relishing in it, but maybe she was, like, not into it.
They don't establish that, so it just, there's no real reason for him to let her go.
The movie does establish it, though. They are showing them reveling in the burning carcass.
Her, though, specifically, I don't remember them showing her reacting in any way.
I don't remember. I think she's there, but...
This is what I'm saying. They don't definitively demonstrate that she doesn't like what's going on, because
pure
she is
soul.
clearly a part of it. She is holding Mandy down while she's getting drugged.
True.
And telling her it's all going to be okay and you're going to be great and everything's on you now.
Right.
But
she's still way into things, and it's better that you just let it happen rather than fighting it, because if you fight it, you're going to die.
But by the end of the movie, he just lets her go. We don't know why. It doesn't matter, because she's just out of the picture.
Sure.
And then, Mullet Kid gets an axe thrown into his face.
Yeah.
And then there's chainsaw. There's
And
a
then
chainsaw fight.
A fucking chainsaw fight. That's why I was saying, if like fucking Army of Dark. I've never seen Army of Darkness. Eventually we will. But this whole thing was just ridiculously great.
Red has a regular sized chainsaw that he's struggling to start.
Yep.
And then this other guy produces a 4-foot chainsaw.
And the way it's framed, like, he's going to go and pick up a chainsaw, but then he has to, like, back it up.
Yep.
And it's revealed
Yep.
he has a giant fucking blade.
He's got a big dick. Dick of a chainsaw. And it kills him in the end, Trent.
It's true.
Because he pulls him down with a chain around his throat to the ground where the chainsaw is running, and he's just flopping on the ground on top of a chainsaw.
Just keeps on going.
Yeah. So, quickly getting through all of these bad guys.
Yeah.
So who do we find next but the old lady?
Yeah, who
in
is
the
like,
inviting smoky basement.
Right, and she's like hanging on him, talking about like
she
being
horny,
a lover.
I guess.
Like, I know my lover's every move.
Because I'm so empathetic.
Right.
And I'm the best lover and the most passionate. And the next time we see her, it's just her head being rolled.
Yeah.
We don't see her die. We just see her head.
Yeah. Deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, she's awful too. I don't like any of these people. You're not supposed to.
And I have a question here. So he's heading down this corridor to the final battle. Where the fuck is this?
Like I said, illogical. It's in the basement of the church. Because why not?
But there's light coming through somehow.
I mean, is it like
There's
they're in
this
a valley? Is it like a dam, like an abandoned dam or something? Because it's like a tunnel and then a sewer drain, something that collects water when there's overflow.
Yeah, maybe it's like the remnants of a dam that isn't there anymore.
Maybe they're in a valley.
Yeah, but he finally gets there, and there's this pulsating light that keeps on going on and off. There is a whole lot of stuff with light in this movie that we haven't even mentioned yet.
No, it's either really fucking dark, really weird lights in different colors,
colored lighting,
or like pulsing,
like
or
lights
strobe.
in the darkness, like lights off of vehicles, kind of like glaring in the camera. There's the glowing light of the TV in their cabin,
aggressively glowing light,
the blue emergency broadcast signal test thing. That's all glowing blue like that. All the light in this movie is great.
But it contributes to it being hard to watch.
You're right.
Because your eyes are constantly having to adjust.
Yes, he's using light and the lack of light and all that other stuff as it's part of the production design. It's the stuff you see in the background. It just adds to the storytelling without really telling you much. It's like a mood kind of a thing.
It's mood lighting, so to speak.
I guess. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's trippy shit. I don't know. It's weird.
It contributes to the beauty of the movie. If you want to call this movie beautiful, and I do.
Okay.
I do. Just as a visual piece more than anything else.
All right, then. Well, we'll leave it at that. We have varying opinions on that.
But yeah, he gets to the end of the thing. He confronts him.
Okay, here's one point that really bothered me. When he finds Jeremiah, he turns around and he sees him, and Jeremiah says, "Oh, hi."
Hi.
That's what we're going with. Oh, hi. After a head's been thrown at you.
Yeah.
All right, then. Cool. Neat. But there is kind of a cool line because, Red is being the strong, silent type.
Yeah.
And this guy is, once again, on some diatribe about how awesome he is and how everything is meant for him and it's his destiny, while also simultaneously shitting his pants. But Red says, the psychotic drowns while the mystic swims. You're drowning and I'm swimming.
Uh-huh.
And then he tells him, I'm your god now. And
I'm your
crushes
god
his
now.
Head. But even his voice gets all like, I'm your god now.
It gets all warbly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drugs will do that to you, I guess. You take too many, and he didn't even take that much.
He took enough.
He took enough.
But yeah, he crushes his head. Eyeballs go everywhere. It's a gruesome scene. But hey, yeah, that's part of the aesthetic of the movie. But one of the coolest scenes, I think you would even agree with me, as he's leaving, we're getting these transitions of camera as he's kind of like walking towards the camera. It fades out and he's a little bit closer. He keeps on walking. It fades out. He gets a little bit closer. He fades out. Then he's outside and the building is in the background.
And the fire's getting bigger.
And the fire keeps getting
burned
bigger.
That fucker down.
Yeah, and it just keeps on transitioning as time is like truncated here. And I just thought that whole sequence looked really cool. It was executed very well.
Sure. And he gets into the car, and he's covered in blood, and he starts remembering the day he met his wife.
Yeah.
And there's a shot where he's like driving home with her, and he's just looking over at her in the passenger seat, and he's so happy. And then cut to him crazed.
Yeah.
Giant menacing grin, covered in blood, head to toe.
Well, did you notice that when he first gets into the car, he doesn't have all that stuff on him? He's wearing his 44 shirt.
No.
Yeah.
Well, in the flashback he is, because he's wearing that when he met her.
Yeah, in the flashback, yes. But when he gets into the car, he's not all covered in blood. He's just kind of driving. And then when he has these flashbacks, that's when it triggers and he's back covered in blood again and has all of his stuff on.
Okay, maybe I didn't understand
Yeah.
what was happening there. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just know that he
Right.
looks insane.
He does look insane.
You're like, how does this movie end? Well, it ends with him looking insane and then driving off into an intergalactic, like,
he's on another planet.
Sci-fi cartoon sky.
Yeah.
And there's like moons and planets and fire and flame.
It's like out of her book.
And then the movie's over.
And then the movie's over and it's silent.
And it's silent.
And, up until like halfway through the credits, and you just get some like wind rustling through the trees.
Yeah, there's like wood noises.
And that's it.
Ambient noise. But one thing we haven't talked about this entire time, specifically is the music, but specifically the composer of the music.
Yes.
So this was composed by Johan Johansson, and this movie is actually dedicated to him.
Yes.
Because he passed away about 9 months before this movie was released.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who was nominated for an Academy Award twice. He was nominated for The Theory of Everything and for Sicario. But he also did the music for Denis Villeneuve in 2 movies, for Arrival and Prisoners, which, if you recall, I haven't gone back and listened to it, but I seem to recall having a lot of positive things to say about the music in Prisoners.
And I definitely remember the music in Arrival being very kind of evocative of this movie. It's just like, it's a part of the storytelling. It is a part of the atmosphere. Everything is surrounded by this music. And it's just being pounded into your ears the entire way.
So it's very interesting that this guy who came off of those movies made this movie.
Right.
That's wild. And he never got to see it, but he clearly finished the piece.
Sure.
Whether he, had buttoned it all up or if someone else had to come in and finish it, he did the majority.
Yeah.
And it is evocative of the other movies I just mentioned. Like, I definitely remember being affected by the music in those movies. And frankly, he probably would have done the music for Dune and anything else. He already had worked with Villeneuve twice.
True.
Why wouldn't he have continued to compose with him?
Totally.
Well, it's very sad. He was 48. He died very young.
I do remember that happening. It happened in, like, at the beginning of 2018. Mm-hmm. The year this movie came out.
Which I had forgotten until they put the dedicated to our friend.
Right.
Rest
And
in peace.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I saw his name in the opening credits of him doing the music. And I thought to myself, oh, I know that guy. I know that name.
Absolutely.
One of the only names I see that I recognize in the credits, along with Elijah Wood.
Producer!
As being a producer of this fucking movie. What the hell, man?
Listen, Elijah Wood I think is a secret little weirdo who loves weird shit.
There's nothing secret about it.
This is true. As he's gotten older and he's moved slightly away from acting, but even when he's done acting, he picks weird projects.
Yeah. And
as an adult.
And I like him better for that. I like when any actor who like was famous or got really, really famous and successful early in their career just decides, you know what? I don't need to, like Frankie Muniz.
Oh,
he
God,
made his fucking money. He made so much money off that Malcolm in the Middle TV show.
He has mentioned to his haters, I don't need to work, guys. Trust me.
He has so much money, and he continues to make money off of that. He had a really good agent.
Yes, he
as
did.
a child.
When he was like 12 years old, he had a really good agent.
But yeah, like anybody who can decide, you know what, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what makes me happy, what makes other people happy, and I'm going to support things that I think are awesome. And I think this movie's fucking awesome, Betsy. That's my
Thanks,
take.
Elijah Wood.
That's my take. Thank you, Elijah Wood. And thank you, Nic Cage.
Well, talking about guys who do whatever they want. Now, he might have more money-motivated reasons than most, but he also has the luxury of picking projects.
Right. And I think as we get out of the 2010s into the 2020s, he's now starting to be a little bit more selective about the things that he's doing. He's not saying yes to everything just because he needs a paycheck.
Oh yeah, when we get to our final movie, we're in a new decade, but we're only 2 years into it. So first of all, there's not much to choose from.
Yep.
But secondly, what we have to choose from is a ripe selection.
Yeah, there are 2 movies that came out in 2022 already from Nic Cage that are like way highly rated. And we picked one. So you're just going to have to wait till next week for that one.
But we're going to wrap this up now. Trent, did you have any other thoughts, any other weird notes you'd like to share from this here, Mandy?
No, I think we about covered it. I definitely did not think we were going to talk an hour about Mandy. So I'm here for it. I really enjoyed this one for whatever it is. I don't know if I'm going to revisit it anytime soon, but if for nothing else, I want to see some of the scenes again. The one shot of him looking back at the camera after he breaks the goo guy's neck is something I want to see again. And yeah, oh man, this is a visual, just something.
It's chaos, it's carnage, it's a drug trip, it's a lot of things.
And this is a 2-hour movie. It did not feel like a 2-hour movie.
No.
And for
it's definitely clear acts, though.
Yeah.
Like, there is Mandy doing her Mandy stuff.
Yep.
There's the cult, and then it's
the revenge.
Because Nicolas Cage is basically not in 2/3 of this movie.
It's true. But yeah, we mentioned some of the scenes here are super long. And I think that just kind of makes, because sometimes when a movie is really long, you get cut and cut and cut and cut and cut to different locations.
Short scenes.
Too many locations. Like, why are we having to go all these different places? There's only like 5 places we go here. It's just spending a lot of time in each location.
That is fair.
So, anyway, that's my thoughts, Betsy, on Mandy.
Well, we talked for a long time about this, so we're going to throw it to a short email. If you recall, we just wrapped up our Western Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So we've got one from our superfan Stephanie about 1,000,000 Ways to Die in the West. This movie is just kind of eh.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a one-word review about that movie. Yeah. It is way, all caps, way too long. And like a lot of Family Guy, the jokes go on too long until they are no longer funny. Just not good.
Yeah.
Except the Kansas City, Kansas versus Kansas City, Missouri. That never gets old for me. We will never live in Kansas.
All right.
Love you guys, Superfan Stephanie. Thank you as
Stephanie.
always, Stephanie. But yes, friends, listeners, fans, wherever you currently find yourself in this podcast, we'd love to work you up that chain and get you to be a super fan just like Stephanie.
Yeah.
And you can begin by contacting us. You can send us an email at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. We also are on Facebook and Instagram. That's Never Seen It Pod 1. That's the number 1. And I'm on there most of the time trying to post stuff, keeping it an active page because I like movies and I like to talk about movies.
Social media manager Betsy.
My newest title in this endeavor.
Yes.
But other than that, you can go and rate us, share us, tell your friends about us, support us by clicking the link in the podcast description, and all the things that good listeners do. So we appreciate you doing all of those things.
Do all of them.
Not just one, do all of them.
Yes.
And
you
then,
cannot be a super fan unless you do everything.
That is true. That is very fair. But we've got one more Nicolas Cage movie coming your way soon.
See if you can guess which one, guys. There's 2 of them.
We will have one other movie in between, though. We're done with Western Wednesday, so
Yes.
we've got something a little different coming on Wednesday.
We got a special episode coming up for episode 150.
And then we've got the last of the Cage-athon after that. But until those episodes, this has been Never Seen It. I am Betsy.
And I'm Trent.
And we will catch you next time.
Bye-bye.